And oh man, look at this. Just look at this. Oh, it's great. It's great. All right. And it's also about $400 sitting right here. So what did I order? Hey, happy Saturday to you guys. We're in the shop today, and we're going to be working on finishing up the fuel line. So we're going to go from the tank to the pump, get the filter, the valve, all that made up. And then I got the parts I've been waiting on. It's just like Christmas in January. Yeah, that's January 31st, so Christmas in January. Oh man, let's turn it around and see what we got. So this is that leftover fuel line that I cut off earlier. Just set that aside. We're going to use it here in a little bit. And oh man, look at this. Just look at this. Oh, it's great. It's great. All right. And it's also about $400 sitting right here. So what did I order? Well, the first thing I discovered the other night, I had ordered these in from Red Horse and thought I had it whooped. Well, what I didn't realize was when I had that installed, the screw for the bowl was right up against those threads. So then when I went to screw in my 8 AN fitting, it wouldn't work because the hole was there. So I'd take that out, and then I had to order one of these. It's just got a little bit longer extension. So we got that. I also ordered a fuel pressure gauge to go on the after the regulator. Speaking of regulators, I ordered a deadhead style regulator. Looking at online, it looks like this will work just fine. This one is made for alcohol. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. This is from Nitrous Express. It's their mini flow gauge deal. So, gotta have that. So I apologize, I misspoke. This is the regulator. There we go. Instructions. This is my deadhead style regulator. So I'm going to take that other one off and use this. Sorry, I'm just hesitating because it's got a threaded hole here, but there's nothing in here. So I don't know if that's like boost reference, but I don't have boost reference, so I'm gonna have to do yeah, it does not mention, there's no mention of that hole up there. All right, so that's that. There's our flow tool. Let's take a quick peek at it. Nitrous Express sticker, we'll put that up here. I got a bunch of other stickers here that we'll be adding to the truck here eventually. All right, so what is this? So it gives me Nitrous Express gauge, fuel pressure gauge, and a bunch of fittings. Cool. Easy enough. Yeah, easy enough. And it has a card where you can go to get installation instructions. But, you know, I normally would say who needs instructions, but since we're dealing with nitrous here, I'm going to go with instructions because the risk is not worth it. Because if I don't flow this properly and we shoot nitrous to it, my motor goes boom. That's an expensive recovery of money I don't have right now. So let's keep digging. What else do we have? All right. Got that. Let's see, I got a shutoff valve. It even has the fittings with it. This is a Russell brand. It's a -8 fuel shutoff valve. I got this because it's nice to have whenever you need to drain the tank at the end of the season, drain everything out. It's nice to just shut this off, unhook everything from the fuel pump. Then you can get your fuel jug underneath there, open this back up and drain the fuel tank right in. So this is a great thing to have, but yeah, we don't need that. Okay, the other thing I got is pipe plugs for the regulator. I only need one, but you have to get two. So that's what this is for. Because on the fuel pressure regulator, it comes in from the bottom. Then I'm going to go out the side, but you can also do a 2 out. I'm not doing a 2 out, I'm doing a 1 out. So I got a plug for that. Speaking of plugs, I got another plug. This is for the fuel solenoid. The plug on the other side of that. And then I just got a bunch of fittings. I really like the Red Horse Performance stuff. They're really good stuff. No, I'm not getting paid to say that, although I'd love to, but I'm not. So I got some straight AN straight, -8 straights. These are for alcohol or methanol fittings. So I got those to make my hose coming out of from the fuel tank to the fuel pump. I got 4 of those, 5 of those it looks like. Yep, 6 of those. 6 of those. And then I got an adapter to come out from the fuel solenoid on the nitrous to come out and go to a -6 fitting. There's another pipe plug and another fitting for the solenoid. And then the big thing I needed is these. Just recall in another video, I posted pictures of the stack up sitting on top of my intake, and my studs aren't long enough now that I'm adding a burst plate and the nitrous plate. So I had to order longer studs. So that's what's in the box. So let's get to figuring some things out here and get busy. All right, guys, so I almost forgot to start filming, but what I'm doing, this is my my new deadhead style regulator. So I took one of those plugs, and I like to use this high performance thread sealant from Permatex. Again, not an endorsement, just I like to use it. I've used it for many years. Works great. Works with alcohol, methanol, you name it. Oil. So what I'm gonna do real quick is put that in the vise. and make sure that's in there good and tight. All right, so that takes care of that. That's a 5/16 Allen wrench, by the way, if you're curious. Okay. Next, I took the fittings off of my return style that I originally had mounted, and now we're going to put some thread sealant on it and do the same thing. Stick it in and seal up the hole. Alright, so there's the end. The bottom on a deadhead regulator, pretty much all of them I've seen of this style, the bottom fitting is the in, and then the two side fittings are the outs. So you could do that and run to both bowls on a carburetor. Alright, now I got to do the same thing on this. So I'm going to see. Yeah, that'll work. Alright. Got good and tight. Now we'll do the side fitting. I went and took all three of the fittings off the other one. I don't know why, but I did. Alright. Okay. And this one goes on the out. And then I'm going to clamp onto it here. All right, that is ready to go. Just like so. And then this is becomes an extra. All right, now it did come with some screws. Some of them, it came with some threaded or tapping screws. I will not be using those, so I'll put those in my collection. All right, we'll be using this. I'm using the bracket that came with it. I did check, and the bracket that I had with my Holly regulator would have worked, which I suspected. But you know, this one I like this because it's going to be up a little taller, I believe. And I think that might work in my favor. So that's why I chose to go this route. But we're going to find out here in a minute. Yeah, all right. Go ahead and get this thing mounted up. See if I'm right in that. It's a little bit taller, I think. Yes. And that will work in my favor. This is actually a good thing that it's a little taller. Before, and I'll give me a second here and I'll explain why I say that. Looks like my hole is off just a hair. All right. Hang on a minute, I gotta go ream a hole. Be right back. All right, hopefully that little, I just enlarged it just a hair. Hopefully that's enough to let these line up. Find out in a jiffy. By Jove, it's close. Not quite close enough though. Let me. I just need just a smidge. All right. Hopefully that smidge is enough. It is. Alrighty. Okay. Now we tighten them up. Alrighty. Now, I may have to replace this fitting. It is tight. That helped. There's a little corrosion in there. Okay. Alrighty. Sweetness. Sweet. Alrighty, there. All right, I don't know if I ever explained what this wrench is that I'm using. It's aluminum, and it's made for these AN fittings, so it doesn't mar them up like a steel wrench would. And they're calibrated. You see that right there? They've got, this one will go from -3 all the way to -20. I have another one that's shorter, and I have another one that has hex jaws. They're really nice to have. So, all right, that is done. Now the next thing we got to do is we'll get the fitting with the fuel pressure gauge on it, and then we'll stop here for a little while, because I want to get that back done, the one that feeds this. Get that done, and then we'll come back up here and finish the plumbing on this, at least on the fuel side. I will have to order AN or lines for the nitrous side, because it is so much higher work. This is 8-9 pounds PSI. Nitrous is anywhere from, on a cold day, maybe 700 PSI to 1100 PSI. You don't want it to go any more than that. 1150 at the absolute max, I believe is what I've read. Anyway, I will get my lines measure the lengths to measure that I need, and then we will. I'll have to send out and get those made, cut to the fittings made and everything, because they swage them on to handle that pressure. So let's meet at the back end of the truck. All right, hey guys, thanks for coming back here. What I've been working on is the bottle mounts, bottle bracket mounts. I decided I'm going to put it in the back just to take advantage of some extra weight back there to help with traction. So I've been working on a panel. I got this panel from a friend of mine. He originally had it set up with dual bottles and wrapped in carpet, so that's why there's all kinds of carpet glue on this, but it is aluminum, so I'm going to use it just cause. Anyway, so I've got things worked out mostly. We're mounted from here to here on the at the rear. Then my rear bottle bracket mounts here as well. And then I've got holes laid out for the front bottle bracket as well. So I need to center punch those just so I have a reference point. And then we're going to I'm going to cut this off. Because I don't need all this extra length, so no point in having it. Just like that. I don't know if you caught my prior video where I'm using Bauer tools from Harbor Freight with a Milwaukee battery and an adapter I got off Amazon. So far, guys, it's been working awesome. The Bauer tools are 20-volt tools, but the Milwaukees are M18. But as you just saw, man, there's no lack for torque at all. So I'm like uber duper happy. All right, next, I'm going to get some holes drilled. And then I have to make a supporting bracket. That's what this tube's for. It's a little extra weight I'd rather not have, but you know, dollars versus going fast. What do you do? Okay. Now, so I have that done. Now I got to get a hole drilled through here. And I think what I'm going to do is go from here, and I got to kind of angle that bracket just a hair. So I'm going to get a hole drilled through here, and then we'll go from there. So to do that, let's move over to the drill press. somewhere right in there. This is going to get cut off. I just gotta just using it to get a hole drilled. Looks like roughly the middle of me. Takes care of that. Now I'll meet you over at the track. All right, so what I got to do here is I got to tighten these backs up. So I can get an idea. Doggone it. Dropped a nut. Luckily, I happen to have a spare right here. Okay. Now once that goes down, and then I can put that, get that bracket set. Figure out what we need there. Okay, we've got the nitrous bottle mounted. Everything's mounted. I repurposed that aluminum from something I bought from a friend of mine, and he had carpet on it, so I pulled all the carpet off, but I haven't removed the glue yet. I may at some point, but right now it works. So anyway, this is a 10-pound bottle. I have this all set up so I can use a 10-pound bottle or a 15-pound bottle. I got two of those, two 15s, two 10s. So what I'm working on, I drilled a hole through the firewall, or not the firewall, the back wall, and that allows me to pass the nitrous line through. And what I'm going to do, this is another bargain I got from that same friend. And I've got the nitrous gauge with an on-off valve here, okay? So we're gonna bring this, and I don't have everything figured out yet, but anyway, it's gonna sit somewhere in that ballpark. Looks like I'm gonna have to move it down some. All right, I gotta figure that out. But anyway, the idea is to have this right here, something like that, so that I can just glance over and the gauge is visible. And then I just open the valve from the seat and we're going, nitrous is flowing. So what I may do is take the filter and I may move it out there, because what I was thinking is running the fuel line, or the nitrous line, sorry, just through the hole I already have right here and just run it on out. And I've already got a couple plugs there. I'm hoping I can repurpose those instead of drilling a new one. But if I have to drill a new one, I'll drill a new one. I don't, that's what you got to do. And anyway, the net comes out to here, to the nitrous solenoid. And I'm really hoping they can put a 90 on it for me. I'm hoping. If not, I'll buy one, take that off, redo it. But anyway, that would be the berries, and then we'll run it up there. So what I got to do right now, the line they send you is, at least this one is 15 feet long by my measurement. So obviously I don't need that much line. So what I'm doing here is I've got my hole drilled right there. I'm going to pull that through and I'm going to route it the way I will route it back to the tank. And then I'll get this mounted down. I get that figured out and mounted. And then I can measure the length and see, and I'll go ahead and I'll get this, once I have this here hose routed, I'll run it up to here and to there. And then I'll mark it and measure that length. And then what I'm hoping to do is send this hose that's already included in the kit, send it back to Nitrous Express and just have them cut it to where I've marked it, put a new end on it, and then I can just repurpose all of this hose rather than have to purchase a whole new hose. We'll see. Anyway, I haven't talked to him yet. That's what I'm hoping to do. So anyway, that's where we're at. Yeah, so like I said, I've already got that hole drilled. I just need to crawl down underneath, get the cable routed, and I'll try and take you with me. So while I'm waiting on lines, fittings to get here for the fuel lines so I can finish that up, I started working on the wiring setup, kind of figured out a plan on that. And what I'm working on right now is the mounting bracket for the relay and fuse holder. So this is my cheapo Harbor Freight press, and it was stiff, but I just bent 60 thousandths stainless with it. Like I say, it was really tough, but it did it. So now I just got to drill holes and move on. All right, guys, we have been busy in the shop here today. Show you what I've done. I got the fuel line all finished up from end to end. And what I'm doing now is, well, let's just turn this camera around and let me show you. All right, we got the fittings in, got the fuel line all finished. Nice filter for it. Goes to the pump. And then we're going to come up front. And as you can see, I got my regulator here. We already did that. Now we got the line going. We're going up to here. I went ahead and threw a gauge in there just for grins and giggles, kind of a reference. I'm going to set it using the Nitrous Express kit that comes off of the regulator here. We'll set it with that, and then whatever that reads, once I know this is correct here, whatever that reads is what it reads. So all the plumbing there around is done. Not as tidy as I would like it, but it'll work for now. If you're wondering what I have, what you're looking at right here, this is the fuel solenoid for the nitrous system. This is a fuel pressure switch. So basically it's normally open and actually I got to measure that. So basically, if we have fuel pressure to the solenoid, then that closes the contacts and allows current to pass through. And if you If you remember the diagram I showed you and that you can download off of Yellow Bullet, again, I'll throw a link up there. It'll be in the description of this video. Then what that does is that's a safety. Now, we're going to find out. All the nitrous companies recommend it, but when I was looking on different various forums on both Facebook and others, a lot of guys said they had nothing but trouble with them and took them out. So I don't know, we'll see. But basically what it does is, if it doesn't see fuel pressure, it'll open the circuit. If it opens the circuit, nitrous can't flow. It shuts the system down. So that's a safety. I would really rather not remove it. I would rather figure it out than and get it and make sure it's working correctly than to remove it and run a risk of a nitrous backfire and blowing up my motor that I really can't afford to do. So we're going to do everything we can to not remove it. So anyway, that's what we've got. Now, what I am working on is the plumbing for the nitrous. I will flip the camera around and I'll show you what I've done so far. All right, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make a bracket to hold this in place. And so that it doesn't roll whenever I done try and do this as I'm going down the track. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up tonight. The video's already a little bit longer than I normally would like to do, but I had some people complain that they would rather me go longer and not do all the fast forwarding crap. So that's what I tried to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe now, and we'll see you on the next one.